Growth growth hormone has several metabolic effects aside from its general effect in causing growth. Growth hormone has specific metabolic effects, including increased rate of protein synthesis in the cell and most cells of the body, increased mobilization of fatty acid from adipose tissue, increased fatty acid in the blood, increased use of fatty acid for energy, and decreased rate of glucose utilization throughout the body. Thus, in effect, growth hormone enhances body protein, decreases fat store, and conserves carbohydrates. Conserve carbohydrates. Growth hormone has several metabolic effects. These are growth hormone has several metabolic effects, and these are aside from a general effect in causing growth. Growth hormone has specific metabolic effects, including increased rate of protein synthesis, increased mobilization of fatty acid from adipose tissue, increased fatty acid in the blood, increased use of fatty acid for energy, and decreased rate of glucose utilization throughout the body. Growth hormone enhances body protein, increased rate of protein synthesis in the most enhances body protein, decreases fat store, and conserve carbohydrates. Aside from its general effect in causing growth hormone has several metabolic effects. These include increase the rate of protein synthesis throughout the body, increased mobilization of fatty acid from the adipose tissue, increased fatty acid in the blood, and increased fatty acid in the blood, increased use of fatty acid for energy, and decreased rate of glucose utilization throughout the body. Such in effect, growth hormone enhances body protein and decreases fat stores and conserve body growth hormone. Conserve carbohydrates. Growth hormone promotes protein deposition in tissues, although the precise mechanism by which growth hormone increases protein deposition are not fully understood. A series of different events are known, all of which could be enhanced to lead to enhanced protein deposition. Although precise mechanism by which growth hormone increases protein deposition, growth hormone promotes protein deposition. This is our first point: protein deposition. Growth hormone promotes protein deposition through protein deposition and growth hormone by which growth hormone increases protein deposition are not fully understood. A series of different events are known, all of which would lead to enhanced protein deposition. A series of different events are known, all of which is a series of different events are known, all of which lead to now. Growth hormone promotes the protein deposition in tissues. All the precise mechanisms by which growth hormone increases protein deposition are not fully understood. A series of different events are known, all of which could lead to enhanced protein deposition. The precise mechanism for growth hormone promotes protein deposition. प्रोटीन तो इसमें हम प्रोटीन deposition के बारे में पढ़ेंगे कि growth hormone promotes although the precise mechanism through which growth hormone increases protein deposition are not fully understood. A series of different events are known, all of which could lead to enhanced protein deposition. Enhancement of amino acid transport through the cell membrane. Enhancement of amino acid transport through the cell membrane. Growth hormone directly enhances the transport of amino acid through the cell membrane to the interior of the cell. This increases amino acid concentration in the cells, and is presumed this increases amino acid concentration in the cell, and is presumed to be at least partially responsible for the increased protein synthesis. This control of responsible for increased protein synthesis. This control of amino acid transport is similar to the effect of insulin in controlling glucose transport through the membrane. This control of amino acid is similar to the effect of insulin in controlling the glucose transport through the membrane. This control of amino acid is similar to the effect of insulin in controlling the glucose transport through the membrane. This control of amino acid transport is similar to the effect of insulin in controlling glucose transport through the cell membrane. This control of amino acid transport is similar to the effect of insulin in controlling glucose transport through the membrane. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Enhancement of amino acid transport through the cell membrane. Growth hormone directly enhances the transport of amino acid through the cell membrane to the interior of the cell. This increases amino acid concentration. This increases amino acid concentration in the cells and this increases amino acid concentration in the cell and is presumed to be at least partially responsible for the increased protein synthesis. This increases amino acid concentration in the cell and is This increases amino acid concentration in the cell and is presumed to be at least partially responsible for increased protein synthesis. This control of amino acid transport is similar to the effect of insulin in controlling glucose transport through the membrane. This control of amino acid transport is similar to the effect of insulin in controlling the glucose transport through the cell membrane. इंसुलिन in controlling glucose transport through the cell membrane. इसमें जब हमारे पास 4 पॉइंट हैं. एक enhance करता है, enhancement of amino acid transport to cell, enhance cells protein synthesis. Insulin enhance cell synthesis and proteins. Enhance enhancement of amino acid transport to the cell membrane. Growth hormone greatly enhances transport of amino acid to the cell membrane to the interior of the cell. This increased amino acid concentration in the cell is presumed to be at least partially responsible for this increased amino acid concentration in the cell is presumed to be partially responsible for increased protein synthesis. This control of amino acid transport is similar to the effect of insulin in controlling the glucose transport through the membrane. Control the glucose transport through the membrane. Enhancement of amino acid transport through the cell membrane. Growth hormone directly enhances the transport of directly enhances the transport of amino acid through the cell membrane. Growth hormone directly enhances the transport of the amino acid through the cell membrane to the interior of the cell. ग्रोथ हार्मोन एनहांसमेंट ऑफ अमाइनो एसिड ट्रांसपोर्ट थ्रू द सेल मेम्ब्रेन. ये ग्रोथ हार्मोन एनहांस करता है अमाइनो एसिड ट्रांसपोर्ट को थ्रू द सेल मेम्ब्रेन. दूसरा बात, इसे सेल्स के अंदर अमाइनो एसिड की कंसंट्रेशन इंक्रीज़ हो जाती है. इससे सेल के अंदर अमाइनो एसिड की कंसंट्रेशन इंक्रीज हो जाती है. प्रिजर्वेटिव इज पार्शियली रिस्पांसिबल फॉर इंक्रीज प्रोटीन सिंथेसिस. दिस कंट्रोल ऑफ अमाइनो एसिड ट्रांसपोर्ट इज सिमिलर टू द इफेक्ट ऑफ इंसुलिन इन कंट्रोलिंग ग्लूकोज ट्रांसपोर्ट थ्रू द मेम्ब्रेन. Enhancement of RNA translation to cause protein synthesis by ribosomes. Enhancement of RNA translation to cause protein synthesis by ribosomes. Enhancement of RNA translation to cause protein synthesis by the ribosome even when the amino acid. Enhancement of RNA translation to cause protein synthesis by the ribosome. Enhancement of RNA translation to cause protein synthesis by the ribosome. Enhancement of RNA translation to cause protein synthesis. Enhancement of RNA translation to cause protein synthesis by the ribosomes. Because protein synthesis of the ribosome RNA translation, even when the amino acid concentrations are not increased in the cell, growth hormone increases. Even when the amino acid concentrations are not increased in the cells, even when the amino acid concentrations are not increased in the cells, growth hormone increases. RNA translation causing protein to be synthesized in greater amounts by the ribosome in the cytoplasm. Growth even when the amino acid concentration are not increased in the cell, growth hormone increases RNA translation causing protein to be synthesized in greater amounts by the ribosome in the cytoplasm. Even when the amino acid concentrations are not increased in the cell, growth hormone still increases. RNA translation. Growth hormone still increases RNA translation, causing protein to be synthesized in greater amounts by the ribosomes. Even when the amino acid concentration are not increased in the cell, growth hormone still increases RNA. Even when the amino acid concentrations are not increased in the cell, growth hormone still increases RNA translation, causing protein to be synthesized in greater amounts by the ribosome in the cytoplasm. Even when the amino acid concentrations are not increased in the cell, growth hormone enhances increases RNA translation by the RNA translation, causing protein to be synthesized in greater amounts by the ribosome in the cytoplasm. Increased nuclear transcription of DNA to form RNA over more prolonged period, 24 to 48 hours. Growth hormone also stimulates transcription of DNA in the nucleus. Causing formation of the increased quantities of RNA. Increased nuclear transcription of DNA once over more prolonged period, 24 to 48 hours. Growth hormone also stimulates transcription of DNA in the nucleus. Transcription of DNA in the nucleus, causing formation of increased quantities of RNA. This promotes more protein synthesis and growth if sufficient energy. Amino acids and vitamins and other ribosides for growth are available. In the long run, this may be the most important function of growth hormone. Growth hormone. and growth is sufficient energy, amino acids, vitamins, and the leukocytes for the growth are available. Increase nuclear transcription of DNA to form RNA over more prolonged period before the video that growth hormone stimulate transcription of DNA and transcription of DNA in the nucleus causes formation of increased quantities of RNA. This promotes more protein. This promotes more protein synthesis and growth. This promotes more protein synthesis and growth. Sufficient energy, amino acid, vitamins, and the leukocytes for growth are available. If sufficient energy, amino acid, and the leukocytes for the growth are available, in the long run, this may be the most important function of growth hormone. Growth hormone. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Increase nuclear transcription of DNA, to form RNA over more prolonged period 24 to 28 hours. Growth hormone stimulates over more prolonged period 24 to 28 hours. Growth hormone stimulates transcription of DNA, converting it into transcription of DNA in the nucleus, causing the more synthesis of DNA. This promotes more protein synthesis, and this promotes more protein synthesis. And growth is sufficient energy, amino acid, and vitamin and the leukocytes for growth are available. In the long run, this may be the most important function of growth hormone. In the long run, this may be the most important function of growth hormone. Causing protein synthesis and growth. So we are going to study about increased nuclear transcription of DNA to form RNA over more prolonged period 24 to 28 hours. Growth hormone will cause the formation of RNA from the DNA. It is called transcription of DNA. And so what will happen? So it is called transcription of DNA. It will transcription of DNA. This promotes more protein synthesis and growth. Sufficient quantities of amino acid, RNA, insufficient quantities of energy, amino acid, and other vitamins are available. Decreased catabolism of protein and amino acid. Decreased catabolism of protein and amino acid. In addition to increased protein synthesis, growth hormone causes the breakdown of cell protein A probable reason for this decrease is that growth hormone also mobilizes large quantities of free fatty acid from the. A probable reason for this decrease is that growth hormone also mobilizes large quantities of free fatty acid from the adipose tissue. A probable reason for this decrease is that growth hormone also mobilizes large quantities of fatty acid from adipose fatty acid. Also mobilizes fatty acid from adipose tissue, and these are used to supply most of the. And to supply the energy for the body cells, thus acting as protein spare. These are used to supply most of the energy for the body. These are used to supply most of the energy for the body cells. These are used to supply most of the energy for the body cells, thus acting as a potent protein sparer, and these are used to supply most of the energy for the body cells. These are used to supply most of the energy for the body cells. Thus acting as potent protein sparer. Decreased catabolism of protein and amino acid, in addition to increased protein synthesis, growth hormone increases breakdown of cell protein. A probable reason for this decrease is that growth hormone also mobilizes large quantities of fatty acid in the adipose tissue. They are used to supply energy to the body cell. So in this study, that decreased catabolism of protein and amino acid, decreased catabolism, in addition to increase in addition to increase in protein synthesis, growth hormone decrease is the breakdown of cell protein. A probable reason for this is that growth hormone also causes the probable reason for this decrease is that growth hormone also causes probable reason for this is that growth hormone also mobilizes large quantities of fatty acid from adipose tissue, thus providing energy to the body. Supply most of the energy to the body cell. Summary: growth hormone enhances almost all facets of the amino acid uptake and protein synthesis by the cell, while at the same time reducing the breakdown of protein. Growth hormone enhances all facets of amino acid and uptake and protein synthesis by cells. Growth hormone will enhance all facets of amino acid uptake, protein synthesis by the cell, while at the same time reducing the breakdown of protein. Growth hormone enhances almost all facets of amino acid. Growth hormone enhances almost all facets of amino acid and protein synthesis by cell, while at the same time reducing breakdown of protein. Reducing breakdown of protein. So what will it do in addition to the what will it do in addition to the reducing the breakdown of protein? What will it do in reducing to the growth hormone enhances almost all facets of amino acid and protein synthesis by the cell by the same time reducing the breakdown of protein. Reducing the breakdown of protein. Reducing the breakdown of protein, and reducing the breakdown of protein. Reducing the breakdown of protein. Reducing the breakdown of proteins. Growth hormone enhances almost all facets of amino acid and protein synthesis by cell, while at the same time reducing the breakdown of protein. In addition to the reducing the breakdown of protein, it will also enhances almost all facets of amino acid uptake. Growth hormone enhances almost all facets of amino acid uptake and protein synthesis by the cell, while at the same time inducing breakdown of protein. Growth hormone enhances all facets of amino acid and protein uptake by synthesis by the cell, and while at the same time reducing breakdown of protein. Summary. Now, what will growth hormone do? Growth hormone will enhance all facets of amino acid and protein synthesis by the cell, and at the same time decreasing catabolism, decreasing breakdown of protein. Growth hormone enhances fat utilization for energy. Growth hormone has a specific effect to cause the release of fatty acid from adipose tissue, cause the release of fatty acid from fatty acid from adipose tissue, and therefore increases the concentration of fatty acid in the increases the concentration of fatty acid in the